Okay, good morning. Welcome, rock stars. So I was just listening to Rachel Hollis. If you don't know who she is, you should. I mean, she's incredible. She's this young entrepreneur who kind of seemed like she exploded on the scene, but she had been successful in several businesses. I mean, big time successful, and is now considered the Tony Robbins for women, as they call it, the woman version of Tony Robbins. And she's quite phenomenal. But something struck me. And it struck me like the name of a pub in England, the Swan and the Anchor. So bipolar, we all have a little bit of bipolar because we've all had times when we're really, really up and when life really sucks, which is the definition of bipolar. Now, the bipolar, when it's a disorder, is when those things become extreme. And it does feel like if you could assign labels to it, like sometimes you're a swan where you're flying high and graceful and beautiful and feeling unreal, and those times that suck, it's like an anchor stuck in the mud, and that mud is a suction that's pulling you under, and you don't know how to get yourself out of it. It's different than depression, because depression is the anchor, but there is no swan. Bipolar is you can feel so up, so down. And the thing about bipolar people is we kick the shit out of ourselves routinely, and we don't have any problem doing that. In fact, we're very, very good at that, which is where that anchor comes from, because we can feel so good and so spot on and really on our game and feel like we're rocking the world. And when all of a sudden we have something go wrong, we become hypersensitive to the fact that something's wrong. Whether it's our fault or not, we have to own that. For standard people or normal people, as I like to say, but we own it to the point of we're going to just kick ourselves in the face because we're sabotaging. I've done this again. Oh crap! Here we go again. I can't believe I'm doing this. I feel shitty. I look terrible. I'm fat. I'm too skinny. I'm not muscular. I don't have great hair. And we get into a spiral, and you go from that swan into that anchor in a big hurry, and it's a difficult process. Now, the key to moving from that is you must move your body. That's the very first thing. You've got to move. We are in a mental health marketing part of culture now, where everybody's selling their mental health thing. Get a therapist and go to the therapist every day for the next 20 years. Get on a drug. Get on a drug will help you. Get over-the-counter drugs. Get on marijuana. Get on something that's going to help you deal with life. But the fact is, any of that stuff you're doing is a conscious decision you're making. And the mental health marketers would have you believe that you can't make those decisions yourself. It's, you need to get help. It's difficult to have stuff. If you can make a decision to get help, you can make a decision to help yourself. Let me say that again. If you can make a decision to get help, you can make a decision to help yourself. Because other people's help might not be readily available. What if you're not in a position where help is right there? You must be able to rescue yourself. And the swan part is awesome. You don't want to be rescued when you're up. When those doldrums set in, though, you must have something in mind that you've pre-thought out. This is where journaling comes in. We're talking about journaling on Sunday. Now, people of faith have scripture. They have things they believe, they talk about, and they learn all that stuff. Scripture, whether you're a person of faith, you probably have your scripture that comes from if you're not a person of faith, you have your belief systems. Scripture are the things that we should be doing, thinking, serving, all that stuff. The journal is the inventory of how we're doing with that stuff. No one that runs a successful business doesn't inventory. They don't know exactly what's in place to make sure they can move forward. You want to have a good life, you must inventory. You damn well better be journaling, because you need to be able to look and see, okay, I was having a swan moment and suddenly I found myself spiraling into the anchor. Why? What happened? What were the common denominators that brought me there from the last time I was there? Let me go back 2 weeks or a month or 3 days and look at what brought me to this place. You will find commonalities in all that stuff that's going on. You will find commonalities in what you ate, because your journal should be a part of what you ate. You should be writing down lots of sugar today, had the doldrums the next day, or too much caffeine, felt fly, and then I was having the down ones. You've got to have an inventory of what's happening in your life, because you can't schedule out, you can't control what's coming as much as I mean, to the extent you can, unless you know what's happened in the past and why it happened, what you did to create that situation. Blood sugar, access to blood sugar in the proper ways that it needs to come in, I had to get off the rail here. If you're a person that has sensitivity to blood sugar and you eat poorly, you probably have those days when you're feeling pretty funky. Because the fact is, your body is reacting. Everything in our body is a chemical reaction. Everything. There's billions of chemical reactions going on every second in your body. So if you're feeding your body a bunch of crap, those chemical reactions and the outcomes of those reactions will be crap. You will feel terrible. If you begin to be more conscious of that, and I don't mean you have to go on a full vegan diet or vegetarianism or eating all clean, which isn't a bad idea. I mean, I'm not going to preach that because I don't do it. But if you have better chemical makeup in your body, you will have better chemical interactions. You will feel better. And that's not opinion, that's chemistry. It's really, that just is the way it is. So you need to do inventory, and just remember that journal becomes a valuable weapon in the fight against depression, bipolar, anxiety, all that stuff, because you can go back and rewind what went on and led you to that place, led you to a place where you were not feeling strong. So get your journal and begin to treat it like an inventory, because your business, the only business that matters is your life. Not the job you go to, not even your marriage, your relationship, or your kids. The most important thing to you must be you. Because if you don't give a damn about you, your body, your mind, your psychology, you can never love somebody to the extent they deserve to be loved and cared for. You will never have the relationship you're capable of having. You will never be as successful in business as you could be. And if you are successful, it will be fleeting. And you will see people who are successful and have money and have done all this stuff, but their life still sucks. They're unhappy. Why? Because they don't know how if they got there, they weren't careful about making sure they knew what got them there and how to keep them there. And they didn't repeat the behaviors that were successful. They just got into things, lucked out, made some things happen, it's pretty cool. Bam, I'm back right where I was. I've sabotaged myself and the anchor comes up again. So get a journal, use it. And remember, everybody has a little bipolar. You're going to have ups and downs. But if you know how to plan them, because you can plan a down day. If you're going out the night before and you're a drinker and like to have a bunch of beers, or if you like to eat and the night before you're going to go junk out, you're going to know the next morning's going to be heavy. And people have hangovers from food the same as they do from alcohol. Just saying. So be conscious, be ready, and really get in front of these things that are coming at you when you behave in a manner that's going to lead you to a negative spot. Because if you don't start getting in front of them, they will always control your life. You will always be enslaved by those habits and those reactions to our habits and rituals. So remember, you're a giant chemistry set. That's what you are. Your whole body's chemistry. Everything is chemicals that are going in and out of billions of reactions. You have to decide what chemical makeup is going to be. And you create the chemicals too by moving. If you're moving and getting outside, that helps you have better chemicals in your body. Vitamin D is a huge thing. You should take massive amounts of vitamin D. Stephen Gundry, Dr. Gundry said you should take, 9,000 IUs of vitamin D a day, because that's the one thing people really need. Get outside, get moving, go do some yard work if you have to, or just go for a walk. If you feel a funk coming on, get outside, get around people. Okay? Even go to the mall and go walk through the mall, which I don't know if a mall's pretty depressing to me. Get where you can be around some people, or just get where you're outside. Go find an animal to pet outside. I mean, go stand next to somebody's horses. Don't really pet them, because sometimes horses aren't that patient with that. But the best remedy to feeling down, to the anchor moments, are movement. Depression, anxiety, again, these things, the down times, they have trouble hitting a moving target. But when you're stationary, you're an easy shot. You can ask any marksman, what's the easiest thing to hit? Well, it's something standing still. It's no different from behavioral issues, emotional issues, all that stuff. We've got to be moving. Other thing. We have children that are going to go through these things too, and then we call it ADD now and hyperactivity and all that stuff. But 99% of the time it's diet. I guarantee, I talk to every parent that I hear talking about the ADD of their kid. You look at their meals, bread, cereal, orange juice, the crap that's nothing but a sugar buzz, which takes them up and down and up and down, and then they can't sit still, and then they're tired, and when the kid gets tired, he gets all windy, and then we drug them. So kids are chemical plants. Give them good chemicals to react to before you give them fake chemicals to alter them. And I'll say that one more time. Give them good chemicals to react to before you give them fake chemicals to alter them. And be very wary of anybody that says drug your kid, because most of the time that's for their convenience, not for yours. I wish you a lovely day. I hope you have and are achieving the life you want, living the life you want. Reach out and please like and subscribe this and send the video to friends if you think it'll help them. And I'm going to be posting more of this stuff because I love doing this. And I wish you the best. Much love from Andy. And yay, look at the sun behind me. Kind of gives me that angelic thing. You'll never see that again.